Hello, 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 everyone. It's been so long, and welcome back to the Royalty. I am one of the hosts here, Derek F, aka Big D.
And I am Hannah, aka Shada, also from Derek's season of Big Brother. And we are so excited for season 4 of The Royalty. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you guys for bearing with us. And we're so excited to wait. I feel like I'm just repeating the same words over and over again. I'm
No, I love what you're
it's
saying. Keep
also a long
going.
day, but essentially, we can't wait to break down this season of Big Brother. Big Brother is 25 years old. Big Brother and I are the same age. We were actually born like within a couple weeks of each other. So this feels really special to me. I know this feels special to you, Big D, and
Yes.
Tiff will be joining us a little later on in the season. So let's get to it because the cast was just dropped.
Yes, the cast was just dropped. And also, wait, can I just ask one question?
Yeah.
We said that Big Brother is I didn't understand. Then why, when we had the 25th season, like they were making it seem like it's been 25 years? Like I'm so confused by that.
So Big Brother was born in 2000, in
Got
summer
it.
of 2000. I was also born in summer of 2000. The
Got it.
25th season happened 23 years after Big Brother was started. Just because
Mm,
like season 9 was a winter season and then season 1
yes.
started in 2000. So this is the 25th year.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, let's get into it, guys.
Into it.
Big Brother 27 is here. We have the premiere happening on Thursday.
Yeah.
If you guys are on the East Coast or in the in New York area, New Jersey, DC, I almost said Detroit. I almost said Detroit. What we call it? The East Coast? Do we call it Metro or whatever? If you're in the area, come join us in New York City. Me and Hannah will be there. There'll be some other special people that will be there. And don't say I didn't tell you guys. And you guys can go to Oz's Instagram page. You got the tickets and all that. Okay, let's get into
It'll be
it. Now, y'all know I like to get everybody's name wrong. Let me give a full disclaimer, okay? Me and Hannah have watched some of the videos. We are just giving our take on what they said in their videos. Please understand that our minds can change once they play the game.
fun.
It's just like when you decide to meet up with someone and they catfish you. You think that they're giving you a certain type of look or
Yeah.
person or personality. You meet them in person and you go, ooh, you're not what I thought you were.
Or
So,
sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes you think they're
yeah.
going to be a flop and they end up to be a bop. So,
Come on, Bob. Come on, bop it, twist it, turn it, pull it. Okay. All right, guys. All right, let's first start. I'm going to start with who is this? This is,
oh
and
no.
please Hannah jump in at any second.
Oh no.
Adrian. I'm
Okay.
not saying people's last names, okay? I don't care about
Okay.
that.
No, that's fine.
Adrian, 23, hometown, San Antonio, Texas, and he's currently a carpenter, okay?
Okay.
What was your first initial, based on what he was saying in his little video, what did you get in his picture?
Sure. Okay. Well, two things that I want to say. The
Mm-hmm.
first thing is I'm surprised by just how young this cast is. Like there are, because from our season to last season, only I think 4 of us were born in the 2000s. And then on this season, half the cast is younger than me, which is crazy. So kind of shocked about that, and I don't know if that means we're going to get a lot more drama. I don't know if that means these people grew up on social media, and so they're going to be hyper aware of their public perception. Maybe they're going to try to keep it cute because they don't want to be canceled by their peers. I don't know. I do wish we got maybe a bit more of an age variety, a few more people in their 30s, more people in their 40s, more people in their 50s, but let's just see how the season shakes up. And then the second thing I want to say is thank God these people are full of house guests, or this season is full of house guests who have real jobs. Now, I don't want to dog influencers or content creators. There was a point in my life that I did that. If you can do that and sustain yourself, all the power to you. But I think there's definitely a difference between people who go on these shows hoping to just amass more of a following and then people who go on these shows because they genuinely love the game, they grew up watching it with their families, they need the money. Like
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy about the fact that these people seem real, authentic, and reflective of America, and it's not just a bunch of like influencers and content creators.
The cast is definitely giving diverse. It's definitely
Yeah.
giving America. And the one thing I want to say is, shout out to Jesse, shout out to the casting team. They are very good at making sure when they're picking a cast that
Mm.
it doesn't look like casts before. I
Yeah.
understand some of the people might be similar to some people we might remember and things like that, but I appreciate the cast looking completely different because when I looked at these people, I was like, where do you find these people?
Yeah.
And I will say, the places that they go, I do appreciate it because I'm getting somebody from all different walks of life, and it's really good. Now, my first thing, and I want to piggyback off of that, I agree with you on the social media thing. Like, I have a friend who, Brand Flakes. We talked about him. He's a social media influencer. He's very good at what he does. He's very intuitive. Like, he makes a lot of money off of it. So if you can make a living off of it, great. But I understand what you're saying as we end up picking people to come on to try to get followers and clout. And I think people don't understand, like, when you play Big Brother, you're not always going to get, tell you the truth, let's be honest, you're not always going to get followers and clout or things like that. Like, you gain followers if people feel like they can relate to you or like what you did. That's the thing. It has nothing to do with anything else. Just because you go do Big Brother, you can end up not getting any followers,
Yeah.
aka me, for example. Now, let me get into Adrian, okay?
Okay.
What I got from his conversation, he talked about how he's going to be a big winner. He knows the game. He has it built at home. He kind of reminded me of like somebody talking like they would be on Survivor, because Survivor players usually
Yeah.
build the competitions at home. He's like, who has a wall at home? I do. I want to see the wall that he has. I want to see everything he
Who knows?
has.
Probably a cardboard sheet.
He better. I want to see a full. When he get out of the house, he better sit there and say, "Hey guys, I want to walk you through all my little. I want to see the comps that he got at home."
Yeah.
He was talking a big game, and he's talking about I'm a king. He's saying how his social game is why it's important. I will say this. He reminded me of somebody who's talking out their ass, like somebody just talking out their ass, just talking out their ass, talking out their
Yeah.
ass. I was like, dude, come on. That's my thoughts on him.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. So Antonio and I were a year apart. To me, he's definitely giving youthful.
Adrian, by the way,
Oh
it's
shit!
okay. He's from
Wait,
San
no,
Antonio.
we gotta cut that. That's why I said Antonio.
Yes,
Okay, because
yes, it's
I
fine.
knew you said Antonio. Okay,
Yes, it's fine. It's okay. Leave it in there. It's cute. It's fine.
okay, okay.
Long day. You had school. You took an exam. Like, I'm still in school. Me and Hannah are both in school right now. So I've been doing schoolwork all night. So I get it. You're fine. Just keep going. This is authentic. This is what they love.
Okay. Well, my apologies. I only said Antonio because Big D mentioned that he's from San Antonio, Texas. That's the only reason. So with Adrian, he's definitely giving youthful. He has a lot of energy, and he was explaining to us, the viewers, why he's this grandiose player and he's going to be the best and he's the most strategic and the most social and the most likable and the most this and that. He wasn't really giving us much of an explanation as to why he thinks that. For me, it's not, and we said this last year, Tucker was the only one who said, here's my life story, and
He
here's what's
was.
going to make me a good player.
Yes.
Everyone else just said, I'm smart, I'm beautiful. Okay, well, how do I know that? Why should I believe you?
He said he has it at home. He has a build Big Brother comp at home. So I want to
Listen,
see him be production and build all these damn comps because
I unfortunately do not care if you live in Build-A-Bear Workshop. I need you to tell me what about your life story makes
yeah.
you qualified? What about your life story makes you the most social? Now, I did appreciate how he said, I'm a carpenter, and so I work with a number of different age groups. I work with single moms, I work with older men. So I do think he's likely gonna be able to get along with some of the older house guests. Um, but overall, I think he just came on really strong. And
Baby,
for
strong.
any super fan, I do worry that they're just gonna get too excited and play too hard too fast. So yeah, I don't know about Adrian, but he seems
Hannah,
excited
I
to be
always say it every season. And I know people are gonna kick me in the butt for it. I don't care for super fans. I care if you're a fan, but
here.
when you put the word super in front of it, I just never care for it.
I
I
was a
love
super
good
fan.
fans. You were a super fan?
Yeah, Tiffany was a super fan.
I don't know. Y'all didn't give off like super. Y'all weren't like that. I think there's a difference. I think there's how about we say obsession? He
Mm,
gives obsession type of fan. Where you guys were, when I see those obsession type of players, I
mm,
get a little bit like, uh. But I know you got to put them in the game because of the fact they're going to change the dynamic in the
yeah,
house. But I never care for picking people like that. I'd rather pick people who are like, I watched a few couple
yeah,
seasons. I'm a fan of the show. I know this one, which we'll go through those later. I
mm,
like those people because guess what? They come in and just don't have a filter, aka
yeah.
me. Like they
Yeah,
just say whatever they want. And look, I like those type of players. But I get what you're saying.
I agree.
Um,
There are pros
I,
and cons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next we have Amy. Amy is 43. She's a part of the little bit older type of house guest. She's from Stockton, California. Did I say that
Oh, yeah, yeah,
correctly?
yeah. Stockton.
Okay, and she's
Yeah.
also an insurance agent.
Mm,
This is what I have
yeah,
for Amy. Amy reminds me of Whitney. Beautiful.
yeah,
She's a
yeah.
mom. She's very, and Whitney does not have a problem me saying this. She's very voluptuous. She's curvy. I love that. She's beautiful.
Hmm.
I also love that she talked about she's a girl's girl. I will say this. The only thing that, and this is all different from Whitney now, I was just talking about the vibes I got,
Hmm.
but based on Amy herself, Amy's not giving me enough energy.
Mm,
I wasn't getting energy from her. She says people are gonna love her. She was giving me very like, I'm talking very like this, very
hmm.
soft, like I'm talking on a hotline right now. Like
Hmm.
that's what it was getting from me.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the one thing that was a red flag, baby. She said she wants an all women's alliance.
Hmm.
Everybody need to stop that. We know that's not going to work. We have been trying it for years. I just wish it's okay to say like I'm going to work with like the girls and we're going to work together, but trying to make an all women's alliance, throw that out the window. It never works. We
Yeah.
know that. So
Which
that's
is
my thoughts on her. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's 27 seasons, 25 years in, and we still haven't gotten an all women's alliance that's lasted more than a couple days or a couple weeks, that's definitely disheartening. And I do think it's because, for whatever reason, the female house guests, or at least one of them, will end up putting, their showmans over the alliance. It's harder, maybe, for them to separate their emotional ties in the game to their gameplay or sorry, from their gameplay. Um, yeah, no, she reminds me a lot of Whitney, just with brown hair. She's a
And
mom.
Whitney had brown hair before,
She
too.
did, yes, at one
Yes.
point. But
Mm-hmm.
um, Amy is her name, right?
Yes. Amy is her name. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Amy, she's a single mom. She has kids. So maybe people will feel a sense of warmth and just like nurturing from her that you may not get from house guests who aren't parents, and who don't have kids. I am, and maybe it's because this season of Love Island has scarred me, but anytime I hear and even Taylor season, anytime I hear the word girl's girl, I'm like, oh, you got to stop with that one. Because
And they said it a lot. A
I,
lot of these girls said it in their interview when we watched it.
which I hate that rhetoric, because what does being a girl's girl even mean? I think it just means very different things to very different people. And unfortunately, a lot of people's conception of what being a girl's girl is revolves around their proximity to men, which I don't like. That defeats the whole purpose of being a girl's girl, in my opinion. So I say all that
Hmm.
to just kind of explain that I'm weary of her saying, "Oh, I'm a girl's girl. I'm all for the girls." I'm just gonna have to wait and see if that is actually the case with her.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, the Girls Alliance that we're going to see.
overall, I wish she would have talked about, the fact that she's an insurance agent, the fact that she's used to being the bad guy. She has to deliver, news that people may not want to hear, but even still, she's likable because she's able
Yeah.
to navigate difficult conversations. That's what I wanted to hear, not about
Yeah.
you being. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Amy.
Listen, I'm just still getting very hotline.
Mm-mm.
Now, on to the next person. We have Ashley. Ashley is 25 from Chicago, Illinois. Current city is New York, and her occupation is a lawyer. So it's giving me, is this like a Hannah and Xavier mixed together? I don't know. I'm a little bit. And the way that she was giving her, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. She says she's ready to get blood on her hands. She's a big competitor. She's also played in sports. She's also been in pageants. She's also been at the lawyer school degree. She has she went to the top lawyer school degree, and she also has like a bunch of things to go with it. So I will say this: she was checking off everything. It was definitely giving a little mixture of Hannah and Xavier. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all know this chick at this point. Okay, now. I also want to say this. I'm a little bit worried because she was rumbling off everything that she's done, and she's talking about and I did appreciate her breaking her game down of how she's going to be precise. I do appreciate that. And she did give us a good, as I like to now call it, a Tucker type of why I would be good at this game because of everything I did and because of this and because of that and my life was this and because, but I feel like she might analyze the game too much, and it could be good or bad. That's my thoughts on Miss Ashley.
Okay, so you almost feel like, ooh, she could be a little too prepared.
Like a little too prepared to the
Mm-hmm.
point where it's like sometimes you just gotta kind of just go with it. Like,
Yeah.
and the one thing that you said, Hannah, and the one word that somebody says, and I made sure to write it because it's your favorite word,
Mhm.
you gotta be adaptable
Yeah.
in this type of game. You
Mhm.
cannot sit there and be like,
Yeah.
you can't because the game is changing and they're throwing things at you at all times. Like, trust me, we wanted to be adaptable to certain things, but every time they threw in a wild card comp and a twist and this and da da da, and we don't know how it's gonna go.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's just my thoughts on Miss Ashley. But I think she's absolutely. I love everything that she's given to the table. You know, anytime there's a lawyer, I'm never going to cheer them on. They should always go home. They don't need the money. That's just how I always think. Any lawyer, any game. I feel that way about Survivor, Big Brother, any of the challenges. They're liars. They're liars.
Well, Big D, I will say you've actually met her a couple times.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
Yeah, so this is the only time I'm gonna address this on the podcast, just because I want Ashley to have her own journey. I don't want people comparing her game to mine. I don't necessarily want everything that she says and does to be reflective of me and my opinions because we're two different people, two different players, and I'm really excited for her to have her own journey this summer. But what I will say is Ashley and I have known each other since we were 3 years old. We were best friends in preschool. We went to elementary school and middle school together. She went to Loyola Marymount for undergrad. I went to Loyola Marymount for grad school. I got my master's. She went to Georgetown Law School. I'm going to Georgetown Med School.
Oh, she did mention that.
And she was at my white coat ceremony, and then she came to the party after. So you've met her. She's actually met every single member of the cookout except Xavier. Yeah. Uh,
Yo, I'm gagged. I'm sorry. Maybe I deeply
no,
apologize,
that's
Miss
that's
Ashley.
okay.
Maybe
No,
because I was
there
focused
were
on you. I
there were a
wasn't.
lot of people there. There were a lot
Okay.
of people there,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, no. So she's met I think half our cast at this point because like half our cast was there. But I do want to make it clear that there was no pre-gaming of any sort. None of us coached her. This is Ashley. So I do find it really interesting how I've seen a lot of people compare her to me and the way that we present ourselves.
The way she presented herself,
Yeah.
it's scary. I mean, I was like this. I was like, if I'm like, damn, is this like Hannah? Like, oh,
Yeah.
listen, no matter what, whatever this little elementary school y'all went to
Yeah.
is really pushing out some smart people. They need to up their tuition. They need to start using y'all in marketing because this is crazy. How she was just reading all shit. I was like,
Yeah.
my God. Okay. Okay.
No,
Well, Hannah, you just gagged me and probably gagged everyone. I didn't
yeah.
even know you knew somebody that was even
I
doing
actually know
this.
a couple people on this cast. So
Okay, so I
I
guess we should
know.
keep going then.
No, see, I really have to stop yapping because unfortunately I just talked to too many people. And now, like, 6 of my friends have been cast for reality shows this year. I'm like, are casting producers just going to my Instagram? And anyway. That's
That's
what,
normally what they do. I
but,
always say anybody on mine, don't pick anybody I know. Any
but
ops, anybody I'm not cool with, nobody. Don't pick anybody.
as I, I really want to make clear, even though Ashley has met quite a few people from our cast just because of my white coat ceremony, none of us pre-gamed with her. We did not coach her. But she is very smart. She's beautiful. She's bubbly. She has a background in pageantry, modeling. She's a singer. She's done acting. But she also went to one of the top law schools in the country. She's successful. She really has it all on paper. And I can't wait to see how she translates that into the house. And please be nice to her on her socials. Please be nice to her family. Please be nice to her friends. But this is definitely a full circle moment for me and her because she's been talking about Big Brother for years now. So I think it's pretty darn cool that the same street, because our parents still live like just down the street from each other, the same street has produced two Big Brother players right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, you
Okay.
know what? I hope that she goes far. Not as far as you, but far.
I hope she goes further, and I think she can. I
That's just me, just being funny. I just listen. I always want you to always be Hannah, okay?
mm.
And I want them to be like, "Oh, she got further than him." No, we're not doing that, okay?
Wait,
So,
no, I would love for her to get further than me. Please.
okay, we're gonna do next on our list. We have Ava. Am I correct about this?
It was so funny.
I listen, and I'm gonna give you my first thought, okay? And
Yeah.
Ava's 24. Once again, yeah, we're in these 20s. This is giving very 20 vibe. Where I feel like our cast had a mixture of a
Yeah.
little bit of 20, but a lot of people were like 29, 30, 30, and up. So
Yeah.
this is very interesting to see. But I will say, when I first saw this cast, and please don't take this. You know what? I don't care if you take this. They all look older,
They do.
older, and I
They
was
do.
like this. I was like. And I'm sitting over here telling my coworkers, like, "Oh my God, you're gonna love this cast. They're all older." And then now that I'm reading their age, I'm like, it's giving Love Island type of ages
Yeah.
at this point. I think even the Love Island crew might be a little bit older than them.
Mhm.
Ava, 24, hometown, Long Island, New York, current city, New York. Okay, Ava is now. Before I even get into it, when I first saw Ava in this hat, first thing I thought in my head was, oh, girl, they about to give us another T-Core moment or something
Mm.
because of the hat and the fashion, which is fine. But I was also like, I thought she was gonna be like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was gonna be like this quirky, annoying ass girl. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw her, okay, and then when I watched her video, she started talking about, I'm all about people's aura. I read people's aura. I paint people's aura. I can read people through colors. And like, I could read you before you even know. Like, looking at you, I could tell you who you are. But the one thing that stood out to me, she explained, I'm here for the money. I don't care. I don't have, like, I'm broke. She made it clear, I'm broke. I need the money. She made
Yeah.
it clear that she would be a villain. And then I think they asked her about showmance, which is the one word that Hannah hates the most.
Mhm.
And she was like, "No, I have a boyfriend. And on top of that, any man that I date wouldn't have passed the damn psyche valve."
And she said the background check. I said, yo, she's funny.
I said, "Yo, she's funny." So she's gonna be a good character for the show, and I appreciate everything she said. She definitely, and that's what I love. When I first see their picture, I give my thoughts, and then now I'm giving my thoughts after watching the video.
Yeah.
I'm excited for her. I love that she also don't have a I don't give a fuck attitude,
Yeah.
and those are always the people I love. So that's my thoughts on her. Hannah, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think she's hilarious. Um, I don't know how well she is going to do, but I think she's going to make for an entertaining player. And again, they're bringing back people who need the money. Like these people are going to be desperate. These people are going to be willing to make moves and make enemies that more politically correct, social media conscientious people would not be willing to just because they want to protect their reputation. She made it very clear she does not care about that. She doesn't care about anything but the 750K. So I'm really excited to watch her play. Do I think she has what it takes to play a winning game? Probably not, but we never know. We never know. Yeah, she's funny though.
Next, I hope I say this correctly. Clifton Will.
It's just Will.
Okay, it's just Will. Okay, he's going by Will. Will is 50 years old from Wallace, South Carolina. Current city, Charlotte, North Carolina, which is the city I is on my list of places I want to maybe move to. Um, and he is a college sports podcaster. He makes it clear that he's really into sports, like serious about his sports, and he's also something he was a part of. He's a part of the military, so he was in the military service, and he also went to military school. I found that very interesting because I always say that people that go to military school were built a little different. Like we're not afraid. We're okay with being away from home and not
Yeah.
hearing from our families for a very very long time.
Hmm.
I will say this. He reminded me of a male version of Miss Felicia. His
Mm.
energy was very positive. It was
Yeah.
very like you could tell he's well seasoned. He knows exactly like a lot about life. And some of the strengths that he kind of brought in was that he said he's a strategist. But one of his strategies is like he wants to make sure he builds his basketball team.
I
So he
love.
wants to find two men, two women, and he wants them to all be like we're going to be a team to have each other's back. But other than that, I really did appreciate. I think the thing that's going to be his strength is he's going to be able to talk to these young kids,
Mm.
but he can't turn into like a dad person. If he turns into a dad, he's in trouble. He has to really come from a place of I'm here, knowledge. I'm cool. I get down with you guys. I know the TikTok dances and like he gotta stay in that moment. That's my thoughts about him.
Yeah, I have a really good feeling about Will. Um, I'd say I have three winner picks, and we'll get to that at the very end. But yeah, exactly what you said, Big D. Like he was in the military for 20 years, something like that. He went to military school. He has a podcast, so he talks for a living, but it's a podcast on the WNBA. And so I think something that I am learning in my very limited work experience as a student doctor is sports is such a good icebreaker. It's something you can use to instantly connect to your patients, to break the ice, to make them feel more comfortable. They can start talking about, the teams they like, the players they like, etc. It's such, I guess, like a bonding medium. And so I think that'll help him. I really liked his analogy about building his own starting five. Because people always talk about, I want to build an alliance with this strength, but I've just never heard that basketball analogy. And sports is strategy at the end of the day. And so I think all of his experiences, the military, having to be away from home, having to live in isolation, living through trauma, being a sports podcaster, like all of that will serve him well on top of the fact that he's older and he has life experience. I think we underestimate the importance of having life experience, and that's why winners don't tend to be the 21-year-olds, the 22-year-olds, because life experience is really what helps you relate to others and what helps you or what helps others feel connected to you. And so I have really high hopes for Will. He seems just like a positive, chill guy.
He
So,
remind me of somebody. He remind me of one of my uncles.
exactly. We
From
all
the
have an
south.
Uncle Will.
We all got an Uncle Will for sure, and I wouldn't be surprised if they start calling him Uncle Will. Mama Fee,
Hmm.
Uncle Will. I could hear it coming now.
Hmm.
Next we have Isaiah Zay. Zay, is that what he's going
Yeah, he
by?
goes by Zay.
He's 23.
Why does he look so old? I'm sorry. Why does he look older than 23?
Baby,
Maybe it's
he
the
looked.
facial hair. It's
Oh,
probably the facial hair.
I thought he looked older, but now and also here's the thing. He said he's from Utah. Now, I watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I watched, the Real House, the Secret Lives of the Mormon Wives, and baby, I need to see his parents because those lips are giving filler, babe. Okay,
Yep.
based on the picture, I said, oh, he got to be one of the girls. I thought he was one of my people. I was like, oh, he's one of the girls.
Oh, wait, why do I always do this? Anytime you say, oh, one of my people, I was like, you think he's part black?
I mean, with those lips. Okay,
Okay.
but he is from. I'm gonna try my best. Pocketou, Kentucky, and
Oh,
current city is Parvole, Utah, and
okay.
he's a salesperson. And the first thing that Zed said is that he's a fierce competitor.
Oh, period.
Okay, now I don't know what he goes by. I'm not gonna say anything. That's his business. We'll find out. I'm not here to judge. But he said that he is going with the flow. He's just gonna stay low. He doesn't get bothered by things. And the one thing that he said that made me think of Hannah is that he is adaptable. He's willing to be adaptable. He's willing to go with what's going on. He said his way of going into Big Brother with strategy is to be able to adapt to the game, adapt to the changes, and see what happens. Now, I do appreciate him using the word adaptable. I think he could have really took that bat and hit the home run and maybe tied it in a little bit more like this is why it's adaptable and why it's going to work for me. But
Yeah.
I'm going to give you that. That's all I got. He's a salesperson, so maybe he's good at talking. He says he keeps it very, like, I got very mellow, chill vibes for him. So yeah, that's all I got for him.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I would not trust him as far as I could throw him if I walked into the house and was confronted with his
I
face.
see what you're saying. Yep.
I don't know. I'm looking at his photo right now, and that's a schemer's face, but it takes one to know one. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
we know, Hussy. We know.
no. Okay, so unfortunately,
Hmm.
I don't feel like I know anything about him.
No, I don't either.
I know that he's 23, he has highlights, and he lives in Utah. That's it. That's all I know. Um, yeah, I just it does concern me that he seems a little unprepared because he
It's
said
giving recruit.
absolutely. I think he's only seen like one or two seasons, but he kept saying like I don't have a strategy because it's just really important to be able to be flexible and wing it. How do you not have a single strategy? Like you may not need to have a plan D, plan E, plan F, but like at least have maybe a plan A and a plan B.
Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned about him. I do think that physically he looks tall, he looks well built. I think people will
Hmm.
perceive him as an immediate threat.
Hmm.
And so I don't know how long he's gonna last, but I definitely don't have ill will towards any of these people or players. None of this is personal whatsoever. And please understand, guys, that this is our first impressions purely based on their photos, the Instagram content that we got, and their videos. That's it. So our opinions could very likely change by Thursday, and they will continue to change throughout the season.
I'm
But
gonna say this right now. We've been in this game. This is our season 4. If they don't know that by now, we don't have. We should. It's our job. We play the game. We're here to give entertainment. We're here to talk on these people. It's nothing personal. There's plenty of people that I go, oh, and then I meet them in person. I'm like, I love
yeah,
them, and that's okay because guess what? They're not the same person that I just watched this summer, or I got the chance to get to know them. Just like when people are like, oh my god, you're friends with so and so, and I'm like, yes, I love them. They're like, how? People are like, how are you friends with Big D? How do you love Big D so much?
mm,
Because
listen, I don't know. Tucker's like, oh, I love Big D so much. I'm like, you do? It's like, no, how does he sound? Big D's the best. I'm like,
yes,
yes? Tell me more. Or
I
tell me
love
less.
Tucker. That
No,
listen, that
he loves
if,
you.
if that man, I would date that man in a heartbeat. He would be so much fun to date. I would marry that man if I could.
Oh,
Now let's
okay.
get to our next person. We have Jimmy, 25, from Syracuse, Florida. The only reason I know how to say that because Alyssa. That's the only reason I know how to say that.
Wait, Sarasota?
Excuse me.
Syracuse?
Sarasota, Florida.
You
He
trust me.
currently works in Washington D.C. I wouldn't be surprised if Hannah says she knows this man. I would be surprised if I probably met this man going to D.C. or Ozza or something like that, or Mimi or Cam.
Yeah.
Um, his occupation is he is a AI consultant. Now, Jimmy instantly, as soon as he started talking, remind me of Tommy Bracco. 100%. Okay, he give me that high energy. He also reminds me of this, which is just my little joke inside. He kind
Yeah.
of reminds me of this drag queen a little bit when he was like had to up the sass. He
Mm,
reminded me of the drag queen Q who was on season 16 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
mm,
Now he said that he comes from a world that he can manipulate, get people to do what he wants to do. He says he's going to give us good TV, entertainment, drama, strategy. We're getting all of it. He had really high energy, and I was like, either production told him to hype it up, or that's just him, and that's fine. But Yeah, he was giving a lot.
Yeah.
He said that one of his weaknesses is that he really does trust people, and when he latches on to people, he does latch on to people. Now, this is where I felt like he kind of contradict himself,
Yeah.
and maybe because he's kind of feeling like there's a lot happening in
Mhm.
the moment, and he's probably like, I'm in the DR, I'm a big brother, and he's also a triplet, so I could see him probably used to trying to compete with the triplets that he's with, and having to be like that, okay? And he kind of contradicted himself because I was like, it doesn't make no sense if you're saying you're able to manipulate people and do things to people, but then you also latch on to people. That usually doesn't work with the word being able to manipulate
Yeah.
people. He also said that he doesn't have a problem being a villain, and people are going to think that he's a hero, but he's really a villain. And also, he says, I'm a bitch, and when I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch. He did say that. They bleeped it out. Now, why did they bleep him saying the word bitch?
Because it's on CBS. It's a family-friendly show.
Interesting.
Oh.
But other than that, you know what? I'm always rooting for my gays.
Hmm.
And so I hope that he does well. I hope that he comes down a little bit from that high energy, because
Yeah.
he's tittle tattle for me. I'm kind of like, I want to love him, but I'm also like, girl, like I want to kind of be like, girl.
Yeah.
Now, and the last thing I'm gonna say about him is he said he was a triplet. I found that very interesting. I wonder, like, I need to know, is he a triplet? Like, is it three boys? Like, cause
Mm.
if that's the case, are we about to have like one of those situations where maybe all three of
Right.
them are in the game and they're switching him in and out? That's my only thoughts. And go ahead, Hannah.
No, that would be so cool if we got that this season. I have no idea what his triplets look like, if any of them are identical, but that would be really cool. Yeah, pretty much the same thing that you said. I mean, he lives in Washington, D.C. I live in Washington, D.C., so represent. But, and I don't know him, by the way. There's no big reveal. I've never met him, but he did contradict himself a little. And so with what's his name, Joe? Jim?
Jimmy,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Okay, my bad.
Yep. It's okay. We're learning. It's our first day. We don't. These
Jim,
people can be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for all I care.
right. Husband's number seven. No.
Right.
So with Jimmy, it's very hard for me to predict where he's gonna land because he's talking about how, he's gonna be this big bad wolf. He's gonna be the villain. He's not afraid to rock the boat, put people in their place because he's a triplet and he's had to put people in their place his entire life. But then he's an empath and he forms really strong emotional connections to people. And so, and I guess the two can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
You can be very assertive, you can be very firm and
Mm-hmm.
say things with conviction, but you can also be an empath for sure. I just don't know what we're gonna get from him. I guess the last thing I will say is I'm not sure if all of this is just talk.
And that's what I was saying, and that's what I was getting. That's why I was like, "Girl, like, come
Yeah.
on, like,
Well,
where we at?" It feels like Jimmy is a little bit of like Jimmy's like everybody in the house
yeah.
into one. So that's
Yeah.
what I got for him. But we'll wait and see what happens. Like I said, our minds can always change.
Mhm.
I want to get to the next person. Another this is giving Love Island, baby. Katherine, who's 23,
Yeah.
from Goodwin, Goodwin County, Georgia. The current city is Columbus, South Carolina. So I could see her and Mr. Will,
Mm.
who's from North Carolina, probably getting along. She works as fine dining server. Now I want to say something. You know me. I usually don't like the blondes, but I like this blonde.
Yeah.
And the reason why I like this
Wait, now you're
blonde,
discriminating against a whole hair color.
I always clash with blondes.
Hmm.
Tiffany was a blonde. Whitney was a blonde.
Uh-huh.
I'm always clashing with the blondes.
Travis was
But
blonde.
Travis was a. Notice I love Alyssa Lopez. But here's my thing, right? The thing that I like about her, she's really herself. Like
Hmm.
she is really herself. She's like, people are gonna underestimate me. They're gonna think I'm gonna play the whole ditzy role they want me to. Like, I love that she's aware
Mm-hmm.
that people are gonna think that she's ditzy.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I don't like a girl who's like, oh, I'm just and then we end up calling her ditzy. I
Yeah.
love that she's like, people are gonna think I'm ditzy. She said, she's very like a home person, home sweet home, sunshine. She's open to a showman's, but she says she's gonna convince people to trust her and be able to vibe with her. Something about her I like. And
Same.
I appreciate that about her. And I'm excited to see what she does.
Same. Absolutely.
Still didn't get a lot of gameplay, just so you know, but it always depends on the questions that production gives them.
Yeah. So her name's Catherine, right? So what I will say about Miss Catherine is she talked about how she's a server. She has to interact with all different types of people from different walks of life. She has to keep a smile on her face even if she despises the person because she's working for a tip. And even still, they'll give her money even if she dislikes them. I thought that to me told me more
Hmm.
about who she is and how she's going to play the game than anyone who had spoken before her, with
I
the
agree.
exception of Will and Ashley.
I agree.
That's what I want to hear versus I'm so smart, I'm so
Hmm.
beautiful,
Hmm.
without you telling me why. So
Hmm.
I really liked that about her. She just seemed comfortable and authentically herself. It didn't seem like she was shouting for the camera because,
Yeah.
she wanted to make this big splash and impression on the viewers. She seemed cool, calm, collected, self-aware. She said she's been through some stuff in her life, and she feels like that has prepared her for this moment.
Hmm.
She talked about how she went to a university and got a degree in public relations, so she's really good when it comes to manipulating information and spinning the truth in her favor.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just really, really liked her answers. I really liked her interview. She strikes me as a thoughtful person. And something that I don't like is people saying with, I guess, like definitiveness, oh, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. How do you know? Because you don't know what the twists are going to be. You don't know who you're going to be living with. She never said that. She just said, okay, well, because of these experiences that I've had, people tend to get comfortable with me really fast and they open up to me and they trust me. She didn't say, I'm going to make those house guests trust me.
Hmm.
How do you know? So I just don't like the certainty that other people speak with
Hmm.
in a game of hypothetical.
That's a and that's the thing that I think I liked about her was
Yeah.
because of the fact that she didn't fall into the normal. Production was probably like, tell me what you're going to do and make these house guests do this, and then she probably, because production always wants us to repeat what they say,
Yeah.
she reworded it in a
Yeah.
way that made it sound better, and that's where you got to kind of learn. And
Yeah.
that tells you what type of player she might be, and she has potential. She
I
has
like
very good potential. Now, I'm probably gonna mess this up. Is it Kian?
Keanu.
Keanu.
Yeah.
Okay. Keanu, who's 33, from Miami, Florida. Current city is McKenzie, Texas, if I said that correctly.
Okay.
He is a Dungeon Dragon master. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know what that is,
Hmm.
that's all the board games, the Dungeon and Dragons, and all that other stuff. Which you got to be really smart. You also got to have a very good time frame of being bored, because it's very boring. It's very boring.
They
It's
just
very
full of a lot of strategy though.
it is a lot of strategy, and that's what I'm saying. But it can be boring. It's just
Okay.
moving a piece, like it's just like Battleship,
Yeah.
boring. Okay, Lord of the Rings. Imagine reading the books and playing the board game, boring. Okay, he says that he's very strong. He talks about his physique. He talks about people going to underestimate him because of the fact they're going to think he's just all strength, and the fact that he might not have any mental. He also made it clear that he doesn't know how he's going to feel about backstabbing people. But what the vibe I got from him is that he wants to play an honest game, but it seems like he still wants to be able to say, "Oh yeah, I'll do what I need to do," but
Hmm.
it's still giving honest to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he looks big. He looks
Mm.
strong. Somebody told me, I'm not gonna put out their name, but I was talking to somebody from the Challenge MTV, and they were saying that they been following him for a while, and they say he's really big and very strong. So his height and his body frame kind of reminds me a little bit of
Fessy?
John, n- not Fessy, because I think he might be taller than Fessy. No, Fessy might kill me if I say that. I
Oh,
don't know how tall he is, but it was giving me more of. I don't know. You don't watch Survivors much, but it was giving me a little bit of like
Jonathan.
Jonathan Young. That's his body frame, and also his height was giving me a little bit of Monty. So I don't know. I think that
Yeah.
and I know Fessy's tall, but I feel like he might be taller and big. And let me tell you something. Even if he doesn't do well, 100% they're calling this man for a future season of the challenge. For
Yeah.
sure. He also talked about being a personal trainer. So,
Mm.
I like him. I like that he has, I love his style. I love his dreads,
Hmm.
his locks, excuse me, his
Hmm.
locks. So, yeah, that's all I really got for you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of giving gentle giant. That's
Yes.
that's what I got from him.
Yes.
The only thing I'm gonna add to what you said is I wish he would have given us his why. Like
Yeah.
again, he just kind of told us a whole lot of nothing. I wish he would have gone into his background in Dungeons and Dragons. What
Me
is
too.
a dragon or a dungeon master? A dungeon dragon master? What a dungeon.
Dungeon master. So really like let me look up the definition of the dungeon master.
But that to me is interesting, and as a gamer, that's probably going to help you in the game of Big Brother. So I wish he would have touched on that more,
Hmm.
versus just giving us a whole lot of fluff. But ultimately, he seems like a sweet guy. There's something that's very like soft and tranquil about him.
In Dungeons and Dragons, it is a game related to the storytelling. The Dragon Masters is the game referee, storyteller responsible for describing the game world, setting the scene, controlling the non players' characters, and putting in the rules. So basically, he's probably going to be somebody that would be so good at improv. Like he
Yeah,
would have done great with like the games that we
I
were
think
playing. So
I think he said he has a background in improv, so that's probably what he meant.
yeah,
Oh,
so he might be a little bit of a chameleon. Like he'll
yeah,
probably try to fit to whoever he's talking to.
yeah. No, see,
Next
that
one.
would have been helpful to know because he could be like, listen, I have a background in improv, so I'm going to fit in just great with the theater kids and the performers, but I'm also a personal trainer, so I know I can hang with the jocks and we
Mm-hmm.
can lift weights in the morning. Like, that's what
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to hear from him. But
Yeah,
I
I
digress.
agree. We have Kelly. Kelly is 29 from Burbanks. What's SD? Oh, South Dakota. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, all right. I don't. Okay, I don't know if we had anybody from South Dakota before.
she's from,
Maybe.
not to my knowledge, it's a really
Okay.
small state, but she's from like
Yeah.
a farm town of like 50 people, she said.
Yeah, she's a web designer. She says she loves how she said that the one thing she's gonna do is crush her enemies with her kindness. I
Hmm.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that she was ready to go. She was giving me weird and quirky energy. She really wants to play with the weird and quirky role. It seems like she understands who she's accustomed to, and I appreciate. She's another one like Catherine. Like she already knows what people are gonna think, and she's like, I'm
Mhm.
gonna play that up.
Yeah.
I love that she says she's only seen one or two seasons, and she wants to come in here with a fresh new mindset. Now, Hannah might disagree with me on this, but I appreciate her saying I've only seen one or two, which
Mhm.
she said allows her to come in with a fresh new mindset. Now, her fresh new mindset, we might as players and fans of the show might be like, "Girl, that reminds me of so and so from season da da da." Got it. But for her, she's coming in here like I'm coming in here like with I think my own thing, and I like that.
Yeah.
That's all I have for her.
Sure. No, I want to be very clear. I like watching all different types of players. I like watching superfans just because, as a superfan myself, I can feel their excitement through the screen. That always like warms my heart. But yeah, you're right. When you come in and you've only seen 1 to 2 seasons, you're not trying to play like anyone else. You have little to no frame of reference, and that just allows you to be yourself as a player and as a person. And I like watching that too. I thought it was really cool how she kind of took us through her life story. She grew up in this small town. She's since been to over 40 countries. She's backpacked. She's lived all over. She has started um, two businesses that I think she said
She doesn't want to tell anybody.
Yeah, but she said like she started two businesses and they've been pretty successful. So to me, she
Mm-hmm.
has a fascinating life story, and I think that'll
Mm-hmm.
allow her to connect to all different types of people. And I'm really excited to watch those stories and those connections unfold. And yeah, I think she strikes me as someone who seems self-aware of how other people are going to perceive her, and so she's not afraid to play into that. She's not afraid to be the quirky girl, but she seems sweet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Next we have Lauren. Lauren is 22. I think Lauren is the youngest right now on this season, as I'm
She's the
seeing.
youngest out of all of the BB players.
All of them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She was
Okay.
born in 2002.
Okay. Her hometown is Lafayette, Louisiana. Her occupation is bridal consultant. She's a super fan. She's a competitor. She says she's a bad liar. Oh, girl, if you're a bad liar, you're on the wrong show, honey.
Hmm.
Oh, girl, you got to be able to lie. Lie. Let me tell you something. If you ever go to Big Brother, you have to be able to lie. I don't care what anybody else. You could be everything else, but you got to be able to lie.
Yeah.
That is you're the know. You start practicing. You
Yeah.
want to go on Big Brother, learn practice. Start telling little white lies.
Hmm.
She said that she's gonna be able to crush her enemies by competition. So it seems like competition is her way of saying that she's gonna be a good competitor. I wasn't really getting a lot for her. That's what I got on my notes. Cute
Yeah.
girl, beautiful girl. Got it. Cute, beautiful dresses, beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns. As they said one time on Housewives, beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns. That's all I got for you.
Remember Luann's song "Feelin' Giovanni"?
Yes.
Feelin' Giovanni. Okay. Anyway, no, she seems sweet. I hate that I keep using the word sweet. Why can't I come up with better adjectives?
Because
But
it's okay, because it is sweet. She was giving, I mean, some of these people are giving sweet, like,
yeah,
just
like
so
Southern
sweet.
Belle. She reminds
Yeah.
me actually a lot of Haley from BB20, if you remember.
Wow. Yeah, I do remember
Hey,
her.
Southern Bells, even similar smiles. Haley just had blonde hair, and this girl Lauren has brown. Um, yeah, she just seems cute and bubbly. She did say she's a super fan, so that does worry me a little. Is she gonna get too excited off the rip? Is she gonna play too hard too fast?
Her and Adrian gonna be bouncing off each other,
But she doesn't
literally.
strike me as someone who's particularly intense in the same way that Adrian is. So even though she is a super fan, I don't know if people are gonna necessarily be put off or threatened by that. But I always root for the youngins, and she's the youngest person on this cast, so I'm excited to see what she's able to do this season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, and
Okay.
sorry, she also did. She didn't talk about this, and I don't know why she didn't. But she's a bridal consultant, which means she works with brides. And as we know, people who are about to get married, those are some of the most stressed out people ever. And so you have to have the type of personality where you can work with people who are maybe not in the right frame of mind, and you can diffuse the situation. You have to have really good conflict resolution skills. I wish she would have said that because that certainly will help her in the game. Um, but she didn't.
Mm,
Yeah.
that part.
Hmm.
Okay, next we have Mickey, 35 years old, hometown Jacksonville, Florida, current city Atlanta, Georgia,
Okay.
and she's a event
Event coordinator.
coordinator. Okay, I just want to make sure I was correct. I'm gonna tell you this right off the bat. I definitely seen Tiffany, Monique, Mitchell, and this aesthetic, this look, this
Hmm.
it's giving that a little bit. And then she started talking, and I was like, I was getting flashbacks.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit, not too
Okay.
much. I like that she says she works in a business with all men and she has to dominate all of them. She
Hmm.
dominates all of them. Um, she was. I love that she was just asked the normal questions. She was like, "I'm just wondering if it's still raining. Did
Hmm.
Drake drop an album?"
Yeah.
Her strategy, the GG word. Her strategy is to be like the girls, stay low. She loves everybody. One thing she said is that it's important is that when she takes her time to invest into others, take your time to invest into others. Now wait, I'm so sorry. This to me, besides knowing how to lie, is so important because
Mhm.
this is something that I was keen on doing when it came into the game of Big Brother was making sure to take the time to invest in others and make people talk. And Hannah, that's something that you did too.
Hmm.
That is really, if you never noticed that in your game, you really hound on tell me more about like your life at home and your family or this or that or your cat or your dog and
Hmm.
like investing your time into somebody else allows that person to feel comfortable with you to
Yeah.
the point when people are like, how do you feel about Mickey? And people are like, oh, I like Mickey. Mickey is, oh, I like Mickey too. Oh, I like.
Yeah.
That is so fucking important. That is a key component. And then also she says she's not here for a strategy. I mean, not here for a showman's. She's like, if I need to find a man, there's plenty of men in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hmm.
I'm here for the money. Okay. She's
Yeah.
the only one that mentioned the cookout, so shout out to her. I'm
Hmm.
surprised production let her say that. Because I know they're tired of us.
Now they love
Um,
us. They keep bringing us back for things.
that part. But yeah, I think her strategy was just invest. So that's all
Yeah.
I got for her. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
No, I think aesthetic wise, she does remind me a little bit of Tiffany. You know, she's got the pink dress. Her pose is like that with the arched eyebrow. She has the blonde locks. Tiffany had, huh?
And if I'm correct, I'm gonna wait and see. I think she has her head shaved on the side,
No, that would be so crazy.
and that's what made me go, "Oh my god, is
That's
this?"
Tiff. And has like the shoulder tattoo, just like Tiff.
I think production was like, "We miss Tiffany. We need to find another Tiffany."
Right. Right.
Jesse's like, "I don't have my Tiffany. I need another Tiffany."
There will never be another Tiffany.
There won't be.
However, yes, aesthetic wise, she reminds me a lot of Tiff. I do, Tiffany is so good at, like, Tiffany's very comfortable
I
at being
know.
the main character
I
and
know.
star when she needs to, but she's also
Hmm.
so comfortable taking a step back.
Yeah.
That I think is what makes Tiffany a legend and just
Yeah.
a one in a million type of player because
Hmm.
she's comfortable in all of these different types of roles.
Hmm.
What's her name? Michaela?
Mickey.
Mickey. Okay,
Hmm.
Mickey. Mickey strikes me as a little bolder than Tiff,
Hmm.
but I think what you pointed out about her recognizing the importance of investing into other people, I really liked how she brought that up because that's not something we really heard being articulated from
She's a
anyone.
businesswoman too, and she made that clear with working the men and dominating the
Oh yeah,
men
she gave
business.
she gave us a bunch of whys, which is what I like. To me, she just seems like a very versatile and well-rounded person and player, and that to me makes it so unpredictable for what type of player she's going to be. I really don't know which niche she's going to fall into, and that is exciting because I can't look at her and go, oh yeah, that's a first boot, or oh yeah, she's going to jump the gun and get voted off week 3. Oh yeah, that's a comp beast. Oh yeah, this person's definitely going to win. I don't know. So I think she's going to be fascinating to watch. I'm very excited to watch her journey this summer.
Me too. Me too. Next we have Morgan, 33, Palm Spring, California, current city, Los Angeles, California, and her occupation is a gamer. Now you know I perked up. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, she's gonna bring humor.
Hmm.
She said something that I found very interesting that she said. She said it doesn't matter if you were HOH week, the week before, you still can go out. And she also said, and I think if I'm correct when I heard the video, and I could be wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, Hannah. She said something on the lines that she has no problem bringing everyone else down with her
I
if
love
she
that.
needs to. And I love that. I love she was like, oh bitch, if this this the Titanic,
Hmm.
we we all going down. I'm Rose, but everybody's going down. Okay. And I love that she's a gamer, and she talked about her gaming skills
Yeah.
that allowed her to understand why she said she would be good in the game.
Hmm.
I'm a little nervous because if she's a gamer, she's so used to being a little bit more not isolated, but like to herself,
Yeah.
to her computer and stuff like that. I understand her social skills might be good because she probably has a Twitch and a stream and all that, and she's probably talking to people. But I'm a little bit nervous about her being cut off from her
Yeah.
all the time. But she said she could take that game and then bring it into the game. So that's my thoughts on her.
Okay, so Morgan is someone I've met before. Um, we have a couple of mutuals. So I've just met her out and about when I was living in LA, or I should say, I met her out and about going to different events living in LA. And from what I remember, she's a nice girl, has a very like soft energy to her. So I do think she'll be able to get along with a lot of the house guests. She's beautiful, by the way. She's a model, but she's also a gamer. That to me tells me, you have talents, you have hobbies, you're um, you're an individual who's complex and will be able to connect to different types of people. Also, she brought up something that is not talked about enough. In the Big Brother house, you have to be on 24/7. The gaming never stops. When you're in the diary room, you're gaming with production. So the fact that she gets up at sunrise, she games until sundown, I think, and she said, I think that will help me in the game because my brain never shuts off. So I just really appreciated how she brought that up. And I
I don't
do,
think I've ever heard anyone say that before, too. Since
yeah,
since us covering this, I don't know about anybody past. We only hear that's our fourth season, but covering, I don't think I've ever heard someone say that.
exactly. And I do think that, oddly enough, her and my friend Ashley will get along. Both of them have a background in modeling, both of them have lived in LA at one point. Both of them are black. So, yeah, I hope to see an alliance between them.
I'm here for it.
We'll see.
I hope I say this correctly. Riley.
Hmm.
Okay, Riley, 27, from Luther, Oklahoma, professional bull rider. I love that. But
Yeah,
I will
my
tell you
cousin.
this, baby, it screamed Frenchie as soon as I saw this man. As soon as he talked, he's also like tatted like Frenchie. I was like, what? Are they? I was like, is Frenchie back in the game?
Do you
Um,
have a crush on him?
no.
Oh,
No. Frenchie is a lot more handsome than this man. I'm gonna be honest, but
dang, let's not
still,
hurt people's luck.
I'm just saying. But nothing against him. You can tell he has a big heart. He
Mm.
loves everyone. He's going with the flow. He says he wants to be able to be himself and compete when he wants to compete. I got that he's very respectful. He's a very family oriented, and this is going to be a social experience for him.
Yeah.
Out of everybody, this is a big social experience. He said he loves everybody. I do get that vibe, and I, I I think this is, like I said, I think this is going to be more of a, not, I don't want to say awakening, because it's not awakening. I just think this is going to be such a, he's probably like, I see things on the internet. I've been watching Big Brother, and this is going to be a real life social experience for
Yeah.
him, and also his whole probably hometown and everybody.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting. He's about to walk into some different walks of life. So that's all I got for him, Mr. Riley. But I like his big heart, his game. I don't know what it is. His game is just big heart, loves everybody, and this is just a social experience. So that's what I'm getting. I'm saying social experience because based on how he was explaining everything.
Yeah, so Riley's actually my cousin. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I kid, I
Can
kid.
you imagine? I'd be like, Sajid, when did y'all get some crackers up in here?
No, stop. No, we're about to get canceled. Stop. He doesn't mean that, guys. Um, okay, so what are my thoughts on Riley? It didn't really tell us a whole lot about how he's gonna play the game. It seems like he wants to play with heart and integrity and kindness. Here's the thing. I see his journey going one of two drastically
Ooh,
different ways.
ooh.
Either he's going to be the super nice guy who no one wants to send home, and before we know
Mm-hmm.
it, he'll be
Mm-hmm.
$750,000 richer, um,
Mm-hmm.
because he will just have that good of a social game. Or because I generally feel like the people who have to tell us, how big their heart is, how nice they are, how kind they are, how sweet they are, those are the people who end up in the scandals. Those are the people who end up clashing with everyone. Again, why are you that way? For me, it's not enough for you to just tell me that you're that way. Also,
Mm-hmm.
with him saying, I get along with everyone, I love everyone, impossible. That's impossible unless you're dishonest with yourself and dishonest with others.
True.
So it was kind of giving me PR, PR, PR. I just want to make myself
Mm-hmm.
look as good as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be very, very wrong.
I
But
think it was, and I think it was a mixture of PR, but I also think it's a mixture of innocent and not having a lot of, um, oh my God, what's the word? A habit. Not having enough of, I usually say when people are not, don't know everything in the world or not seen
naive,
a lot.
naive.
Yeah, like naive. That's what it
I
was
mean,
getting from me.
maybe, but like, what if I were to just sit here and tell you for the next 9 minutes, Big D, I'm so smart. I'm so smart. I'm such a genius. I'm so, like,
I would believe you because you are. But I
well,
get what you're saying.
but I've never really had to say that.
No,
And you're not
no.
over here like, Hannah, I'm so funny. I'm so funny. I'm so funny. You've never
Yeah,
had to say that. You just are.
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. I think at least that I don't want to call him as a person as inauthentic, but I think that
Yeah.
interview was a little inauthentic, and that could be just because he was nervous.
That's why I said
We'll
this is gonna
see.
be a social experience. And once he gets in the house, we're gonna really see because everyone can be. The one thing that people don't understand when you enter that Big Brother house,
Mhm.
baby, it can break you quickly if you're
Yeah,
not ready for it. There's so much that's happening. You're not. It's not just the game itself. It's the game. It's the production. It's everything that's gonna throw you for a loop.
absolutely.
Okay. Next we have Vince, aka Joseph, aka Turner. Okay. He's
Yeah.
definitely giving me Joseph from last season. He's also giving me Turner vibes. I was like, put them together, it's Vince.
Yeah. No.
He's 34. He's from West Hills, California, unemployed. He said he's gonna take 1 week at a time, adapt it, or wing it, adapt it, wing it, adapt, wing it. He said, I thought, I don't know, I loved everything he said because you know what
Yeah.
he said? I'm the master of none.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yes.
he's like, if I need to win, I can win. People are not going to see me as a threat. People don't see me as a physical threat. People are not going to see me as a mental threat. Like, he was making it clear that, like, when you have the master of none, these are the type of people that do make it towards the end of the game. And he also said that he would be able to pick up people's verbal cues and their body language and being able to tell who's on his side and who's not. I listen. The master of none is to me the best thing I think I have heard in I don't even know in the history of Big Brother because the master of none means basically I don't want you to know what I'm good at. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want you to know. I don't want you to look at me and think I'm a physical threat. I don't want you to think I'm a mental threat. I want you to just see me as a player. And I appreciate that. And that is how people get far in the game. That is smart. And the one thing he said was adapt, wing it, adapt, wing it, adapt. Like, because that's another thing we don't know. The twists, the turns, how the games is and stuff. Now, I wish that he would have gave me a little bit more of why. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe I missed it because I was fast forwarding a
Yeah.
little bit. But did you pick up anything about his why?
Sure. Um, so I'll just add two things about
Mm-hmm.
his answers were really good. I was impressed because they didn't seem too mechanical, they didn't seem too rehearsed. He looked natural to me, which means he was just being himself. And I think I would probably trust someone like him walking into the house. I would probably gravitate towards someone like that. So he said the reason why he feels like he's going to be a master of none is because he doesn't really have a passion in life, which means he's held a lot of odd jobs. He's worn a lot of hats, but that makes for someone who, and I hate that I keep using this word, but someone who's very well rounded, someone who's very versatile and diversified in their talents and their skills. Um, I have said this since 2021. Big Brother is a game of mediocrity, and I do not mean that in an insulting way. Really, how when you look at every single winner that we've had, they have never been the best strategist. They have never been the best competitor. They have never been the most social or the most likable. Big Brother really is a game of balance. How can you be good enough but not too good in any of those realms and dimensions? So you have to be mediocre, but you have to do a really good job of being mediocre at everything. And he just so succinctly put that for me into the phrase master of none. That's definitely a nicer way of saying Big Brother is a game of mediocrity. And if you're the best at being mediocre, then you win. But no, I really, really liked his interview. I enjoyed it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Last but not least, we have Zach, who is from Cartersville, Georgia, and works as a marketing manager. I'm going to say exactly what I wrote down.
Yeah.
He was very intense.
Hmm.
He knows what he wants to do, which I appreciate that. He said it's frustrating to see people sleep or not pay attention in the game while people are gaming. And I refuse to let that happen. I was like, that was crazy to me. I was like, okay. He also said, he wants to be a part of a bunch of different alliances. He wants to be able to find someone that he can go to final two with that people would look and go, who's that or what, and don't know anything they do. He said that'll be his way he will end. And he said he knows his goal. He said he wants to be able to be like an Angela and a Tucker, and then I forgot who the third person was.
Chelsea, Tucker, and Mackenzie.
Oh, Kelsey. No, I thought he's okay. Yeah, I thought he said Angela too. But
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, so he said
Hopefully
those.
someone else will be an Angela, so they get themselves sent home.
Got it. So he's given me. I only watched one season.
Mm,
And on top of that, it was given a lot of. He was talking about, he knows how to be able to cause chaos and how to pull back and how to stay low. The one thing is that he has so much that's going on his head. The worst thing for his game is going to be if him and Adrian link up, because they both are so intense and so
yeah.
like it'll be way too much. So I don't know. I just got very intense from him, and just like
Yeah.
I don't know. They should have probably put him first, because me watching him last, I was like, oh my
Really, sweet.
God, get him off my screen. But he's a very handsome man. I want to say that he, being him marketing management, maybe he got some skills in the management, being able to market himself. But baby, if that's how he is as management marketing, I don't know where he working at, because that was not no. I ain't seen no marketing. What the hell he was talking about? I did it. I don't know.
You said maybe he has some skills marketing himself, but I don't think so.
I didn't get the Hannah. Out of
Okay.
everyone tonight, he is the only one. Him and Adrian. I was like, but him even more than Adrian. I was like, dude, where we going with? You just talking about one season? Like, why? What we talking about? I'm confused.
I
He
do
talking
think.
about people, and the part that killed me is like people sleeping around and being frustrated and not being able to see what's going on in the game. Baby, the only person that probably who told me they could stay up late at night and work from is Miss what's her name, Miss Gamer, Miss Morgan.
Hmm.
You ain't giving me nothing that's telling me you're gonna be able to stay late up at night and deal with being able to game, because I bet you your ass to be the first one sleeping because you know you're gonna win a comp or something. But his marketing strategy, I would never hire him for marketing at all. I would never hire him for marketing. I'm Santa. I'm so serious.
Said you had one
We've
job,
had
and that was to market one product yourself, and you failed.
that's, you have what you have this. Hold up, he has the skills that everyone else don't have. And Catherine, who just came in there and was just like, I'm a server. I got more marketing out of Catherine than I got out of him. I got him complaining about players,
Yeah.
strategists, and stuff like that, and talking about he gonna be like these three people the one season he watched.
Yeah, okay, so his interview to me was giving, let me just take every single thing I know about Big Brother and regurgitate it.
One season, Hannah.
Yeah, he
Because
was.
he ain't give me nothing of any other season, and I
No.
think that's what people messed up. I wish that people would just stick with one person. Because when you start talking about something, I want to like Chelsea, McKenzie, and Tucker. I was like,
I think a lot of this cast maybe only watched last season because there were a lot of BB26 references. I didn't hear any. There were a few Taylor references, but I didn't hear.
Where's the DX strategist? I'm talking about let's the
Yeah,
Tiffany. Where's the the Dan Geese? Let's like where are we like?
Xavier even.
I'm
But
just like, what are we doing?
with Zach, I mean, I think there are components of his background that are interesting. He reminds me a lot of Matt Hardman from last season. Their
And
mom
what happened to Matt Harmon?
first boot. Both of them are athletes. Both of them are half Filipino. Both of them are religious. He's a pastor's kid. They're both from Atlanta, Georgia.
Maybe they know each other.
They're around the same age. I'm like, wait, it's giving when, Alyssa Lopez was cast and then Alyssa Snyder was cast the year.
It's giving that they were probably cast and they said, okay, we'll pick him this season, then pick the other one
Yeah,
next season.
probably. But yeah, I just thought that comparison was interesting. Hopefully, he lasts a little longer than Matt did from last year. But
I hope he proves me wrong and show me some marketing skills. Cause
right. But yeah, again, there are components of his background that are interesting. Him being a pastor's kid, him playing professional league baseball. He said he's not planning on lying about that. But again, his interview was just a little too all over the place for me to the point where I cannot even gather who you are as a person or a player and how you're going to navigate this game. So we shall see. But I think we should maybe end on who our standouts are,
yes,
who our
yes,
winner pick is, and who we think the 17th house guest is going to
I
be.
agree with that. Okay, so my standouts are 100%. I'm gonna say just my top three standouts are Ava,
Oh,
Ava.
so funny.
Um, I gotta say Jimmy because Jimmy just something about him. It just kind of gets me. Um, I, I'm gonna say Mickey. I'm gonna say Morgan. I'm sorry. These are just people that really stood out to me. Clifford, Catherine. Those are my five. I had to do five. Those are the people that kind of stood out to me.
You said the people, your five are Ava, Will.
Ava, Will, um, Jimmy.
Who's Jimmy?
Jimmy's the
Oh,
gay one.
okay.
Catherine
Yeah. And Morgan.
and no, maybe six. Mickey and Morgan. Those are my six.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, those are the people that
Final
really
six.
stood out to me. Yeah, final six, baby.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say those are my final six. I think, and if I had to pick who's gonna be a winner, out of the two people that I think can win, could oh Vince, I like Vince
Will.
too. Fuck,
Oh.
I think I'm gonna say Vince is a winner to me,
Mm.
or I'm gonna say Vince, or potentially, fuck. It's so hard to always pick these. Can I give three?
No, give me your one winner pick. Because you gave us your six standouts. Who from the
Fuck.
six do you think is going to win?
Vince wasn't a part of them, but
Oh, well, you can still choose Vince for your winner pick.
no, I'm not gonna pick Vince because he probably end up like, Quinn and
Mm.
something like that. I'm gonna say. Oh my god, I can't believe I cannot believe I don't know, but I guess I'm gonna go with Ava.
Ava is your
Oh
winner
no.
pick.
I don't think Ava really is my winner pick. I really want to say like I'm gonna say two people. I really want to
Okay,
say
say two people.
I'm gonna say Vince, and I'm also gonna say maybe Morgan.
Ooh, okay, Vince and Morgan. You heard it here first, royalty. Vince and Morgan are Big D's winner picks. And who do you
Yeah.
think the 17th house guest is going to be?
I think that I have three theories. I think the 17th house guest can be somebody from the challenge, MTV.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that is because we're always sending people to the challenge from
Mm-hmm.
Big Brother and Survivor. And I think that, we had a Survivor person from Surrey come on to the season. I wouldn't be surprised if Big Brother's like, let's get somebody from the challenge to come on to Big Brother,
Yeah.
because we're all passing people around anyway. My second thing is that it could be another AI like another hotel AI type of thing. We did say, speaking of the house, that that we were bringing back the AI arena. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like another AI type of thing. And then lastly, I think that it could be somebody. The only other person I could think it could be from, if it's gonna be somebody from Big Brother. That's just so hard. That's
Right.
just so hard to pick. I've heard everything. Rachel Riley, Vanessa Russo, DX. I have heard it all. I don't know who in Big Brother they want to bring back that would be that type of strategist that Julie was saying. We're going to have a happy reaction, but a shock reaction. So,
Yeah. Like a
or it could be somebody. I know I think you're probably going to mention it. It could be somebody from the Bravo world, I guess. You
Ooh,
know.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm gonna stick with either somebody from the challenge or the AI.
Okay. Um,
So I'm sorry. Give me your. I gave you 6 people, but I don't know how many you got for your top.
I
But
have six.
okay, give me your 6.
So my standouts, of course, are Ashley,
Yep.
Morgan,
Mhm.
Vince,
Mhm.
Will, Katherine, and Mickey. So I think we pretty much have the same standouts,
We
except
kind of did,
replace
except
Ashley with Ava.
Yep, I did. Yep. So
Yeah.
we're around. That's the first time me and you have ever been that close on something. Damn.
And then my winner pick, Will. My winner pick is Will.
Damn. And that's who I
We're
was
about to
thinking
have,
top 3.
I think we're about to have three black winners. And no, I think we're about to have four black winners in the last 5 seasons.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think we met our quota already. I
I
think
don't
it's gonna be
know.
somebody
I don't
else.
know. Listen, you give black people and POCs the numbers to do something, and we'll get it done. I think
That
that's
is
what this
true.
new era has proved. So, Will is my winner pick, but don't sleep on Catherine. Don't sleep on Catherine. And
Yeah,
then,
that's another person where I'm like, ugh,
yeah,
something about her. But if she look, I'm gonna come back. We gonna.
yeah.
I'm throwing the curveball. I'm changing my winner pick
Ooh,
after the first 2 episodes because then that would tell me a lot. Because it depends on how they act on those live feeds and what they start pulling shenanigans. Okay,
well, what's crazy is they moved into the house on Tuesday,
I know,
and we're
I
not
know.
getting the first 5 days of live
They're
feed.
gonna give us an edit because they probably want to throw that 17th house guest. They want to give us an edit. They want to do all the crazy stuff, the
But like,
AI, all
can you
that.
believe they are in the house as we speak? Like they are getting ready for bed potentially. That's insane to me.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Nobody knows what's going on.
No.
The
Uh,
last thing I want to throw out, the house looks great.
oh yeah.
I want to tell you right now, I usually don't have a problem. The one room, the workout room,
Yeah.
is a boxing gym.
I know.
And I literally text Jesse and I go, a boxing gym? Like, exclamation points. And he laughs and I go, a fucking boxing gym?
Yeah.
I would have, now, of course, it probably could have blew my cover, but
Yeah.
also, oh my God, to have a heavy bag in that gym would do wonders. Oh my baby, the iconic cuts and memes I could have had,
Yeah.
I would have been eating that fucking pop pop pop. Oh my God, I can't believe they got a boxing gym.
Well, who
Oh,
knows? Maybe they'll ask you to host like a challenge in the boxing room. You never know.
all I
Um,
want is I just want to host a spelling bee comp, and it's just all
that
about
would be so
a
fun.
vote.
That would be so funny. And call it
Yes,
the Evo competition.
Evo
But
competition.
my 17th house
Oh yes,
guess. At first, I was really convinced it was DX, and I
me
kept telling
too.
that poor man, like,
Me
okay,
too.
checking in today. Have you left yet? Have you left yet? And he's like, no,
Me
stop bothering
too.
me.
I know.
So
Especially
I,
because he wasn't posting, and then he
I know.
posted today, and I go, "Did Claire post that for you?"
No, I can confirm because I just spoke to him, so it's not him. I think it is either Wes from the challenge, or
Yes,
I think it's Boston Rob from Survivor. I
girl.
genuinely cannot think
If
of.
it's Boston Rob, girl, I'm gonna have a tough time recapping this season. I just can't recap this man again. I can't.
I don't know. We'll see. I just can't think of any Big Brother house guests who are controversial who I
I
haven't
wonder if
spoken
I
to.
should text Wes and see if
Yeah.
it goes through.
Wait, you should do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
What
Because I
time is
can,
it? Isn't it like one at it? Where
it's
he's
fine.
like,
Just put a period and then go, wait, never mind. And then I really have to go.
okay, it said delivered.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not Wes. So now I am addending my guess. I'm gonna go with Boston Rob because again, I just don't know who it would be from Big
I
Brother.
just don't know why we needed somebody from Survivor. Why would they pick somebody from the challenge? We don't need nobody else from Survivor. We had
Well,
Sari, we did our part. We've had
maybe
people from Big Brother go to Survivor. We need somebody from the challenge, or to really throw in the curveball, somebody for Amazing Race or something. Like I'm just like,
I don't think so. I don't think they would do that. But yeah, can you think of any BB house guests who they could be bringing back? I can't think
people
of
trying to throw out there Vanessa Russo. I just don't know. Here's the
maybe.
thing.
That would be really
Here's
cool.
here's my thing. I wish they would save, and this is my honest truth. I wish that they would save the bringing back, BB players for an all-star season. Like I like when we have fresh new meat. Leave it as fresh new meat and let them play the game. And then when it comes to whatever, Big Brother 30th, or they wait until Big Brother 30 years and it's like 32, season 32, then bring back these people and
Yeah.
then allow us to love that, because I
Yeah.
want these people to have their moment. And
Yeah.
like and nothing against Sari, I'm friends with Sari and the rest of them, but like when Sari came on, it was just like it was just Sari show, and
Yeah.
it's like these newbies didn't get a chance to like have their moment. So
Yeah.
like even Jared, I felt bad for Jared because I was like, Jared got overlooked because of his mom.
Yeah.
Like I just wish they would just leave it alone. But
Yeah.
we'll wait and see. Okay, so guys, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and we'll be back randomly. Don't hold us accountable. We are in school and have things going on, but we're going to try to give you your recaps as we go. Remember to like, share, and comment. Hannah, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. You're a host of this show. Stop acting like you're not a part of this. You built this foundation. We're on season 4. You have to step in sometimes because, hey, you never know.
I
Okay?
have to show up and show out.
Show up and show out. So thank you again. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.